Hey guys, I am back. I got something really exciting to look at today. I also have my dad in town with Aiden in the tent hanging out, doing stuff. I don't know. What are you guys doing in the tent?
We're getting ready to ambush you.
Ah, yes, of course, ambush. All right, so have something brand new on the market from Real Steel. Not sure if it's on the market yet, but it's brand new. It might be on the market soon, but I've been talking to somebody from Real Steel about this. They're excited about it. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about how excited they are. So we're going to look at the Real Steel Bushcraft Plus. A little bit about Real Steel before we get going. Great name in knives. I love Real Steel. Everything in my collection by Real Steel is just awesome. And this was something that, well, we're going to talk a little bit more about Real Steel and kind of what went into this knife in a little bit. I want to get straight to the unboxing though, because I'm really excited about this. So, now Real Steel has had some bushcraft type knives before. I've learned that they have a separate kind of bushcraft division, you know, a field knife division aside from their folders. So they take this stuff really seriously. So here's the knife itself. That's cool. Look at that. Separate tool. This is kind of what you get when you get a Real Steel. It explains different mechanisms and assembly of different knives. And product guide for different Real Steels. Okay. And what is this, a grind guide? Oh yeah. Now this is a big deal when talking about their bushcraft line, because this is one of the things that sets this knife apart, is that it's a convex grind knife, which is different. You don't see a lot of these out there. Normally, you know, a production run knife is going to be either, you know, a Scandi grind or a flat grind, something like that. But there's a lot of advantages to a convex knife. There's a couple reasons why you might not want a convex grind knife, but overall, you know, for a survival knife, for a bushcraft type knife, a convex grind is great. And like I said, you don't see it a whole lot. And then you got your little microfiber cloth in there. So we have specs right here. Oh, thank you for the specs. Okay, cool. So we don't have weight. I'll have to give you weight. Okay. And of course, you know, we got the tool because inner frame storage inside the scales in the knife itself. That's cool. That's great. All right. So we'll look at the sheath in a minute. Let's take a look at the knife itself. Oh, it's in there. It's in there. So it's Kydex inside this nylon. So you could take the Kydex out if you want, but it's in that Kydex really securely. Very clean looking. No billboard, you know, advertisement stuff on the blade there. Comfortable. Nicely done handle. You can see it's got a little bit of milling on there. It gives you some texture on there. Fits in the hand very nicely. Good jimping right where it needs to be. Simple, but feels good. Feels good. I can always do a little bit more thickness. If you can see though here, it's milled, so you've got a little bit of swell for the palm right there, which is nice. Length feels good, balance-wise. Got a good thickness of the steel, so you've got a sturdy piece of metal in your hand. Really nice finish, satin finish with grind lines and everything. Good balance. And now you're probably not going to be able to, I don't know if you can check out the actual grind, that convex shape. I don't know if you can actually check out that convex shape.
Oh, okay.
You got a little hidden lanyard hole in there. Weight is really good on it. Looking at the sheath, so you have an external pouch, sharpening, fire starting, whatever you want. I feel weatherproofing inside there. Velcro adjustable. You can also use this to put a horizontal carry on it. So, wow, all sorts of adjustable parts there. Heavy gauge nylon. Like I said, this Kydex portion can come out if you want. So you can go with a plain Kydex sheath. Now you can attach a tech lock to this. It'd be very dangly. You could do a neck knife if that's what you're into. But this is what holds it in there. Very, very secure. No movement at all. Right? Or you just slip it right back in, and then the way they had it was laced in to hold it very securely in to the nylon. Lace it right back in there, and it's not going anywhere at all. So lots of different features that you have going on with the knife before we even talk about the edge or anything else. It's pretty awesome. Gorgeous edge. We'll pull through. No effort. I mean, no effort at all. Let me do that again just so you can see how it just... nothing. And that's one of the advantages of a convex grind, is that you have less friction, easier slicing, especially when you're doing things like chopping, trying to split wood and everything. That really helps out, and that's one of the advantages of putting that on a fieldcraft type knife. So let's talk about the convex grind and why a convex edge is a little bit different before we get further in this than what you might be used to in terms of a full flat grind, a saber grind, a hollow grind. So number one, convex means that it has a rounded shape all around. And sometimes you'll see a convex edge, a convex grind, where it has a separate bevel, so separate flat ground edge. That's not a true convex blade. This is, in terms of knife making, one of the easiest grinds to put on for, custom knife makers. But it's often done wrong and when it comes to the bevel. So, number one, it's the kind of grind where your edge is least likely to chip or break because it's supported by lots of metal in that grind, in that edge. It's a very tough, resilient edge. It's less likely to need sharpening. It's more likely to last longer than just about any other kind of edge grind you have out there. And it's very, very good, like I said, for splitting, for chopping, for your field type work. Excellent grind for food prep. There's a lot of reasons. I mean, that's just, some highlights. There's a lot of reasons why a convex blade is a great grind for your in the field use. Production wise, it's easy to just have a machine do a flat grind off and call it good. It's not as easy in a full production setting to have a really nice, evenly done convex blade like this. Really, one of the big disadvantages that some people find with the convex blade is that sharpening it can be a little bit of a challenge. In order to maintain that exact proper convex shape, if you were to do that with your regular sharpening tools, what you'd end up doing is you'd have a straight plain bevel, the actual cutting edge. There's techniques you can learn. It's not that hard. It does take a little bit of extra time to maintain that. You'd have to decide the benefits versus the time spent. I think the benefits are there. And again, not that hard to learn. There are some tools you can get to make it a little bit easier. You can do it with, I shouldn't say you can't do it with a regular whetstone. You can. It takes a lot of time to practice. Good stainless steel to use. And here's another thing. So, sometimes we talk about carbon versus stainless and edge retention. The convex edge will help you with edge retention on a stainless steel. Yes, carbon steel will maintain your edge for longer, but it will be harder to sharpen. And then you have your corrosion resistance problems. You can take a good stainless steel like this, put a convex edge, you can take a good stainless steel like this, put a convex edge on it, and it will maintain that edge longer, resulting in less maintenance without those corrosion resistance problems you would have from a carbon steel. So I'm pretty excited to see how this thing works. we're gonna do some just some light work with it now, and then we're gonna go on in the part 2 video to do a full hard use test on this thing. Can you guys believe I was doing all this thinking I was recording and there was a controlled data error on the card, whatever that means. So I was talking my way through all this, demonstrating how easily the knife cuts through stuff. So I'll just give you a quick demo on what I was doing there. I thought I was getting this all on the camera and I wasn't. So basically I went and I cut this off, fresh off a tree. I was showing you how easily you can control the depth of the cut, which, is not the only knife you can do it with, obviously, and it's not only the knife, it's, the hand that's working with. But there are some knives that want to bite so far into the tree, and there are some knives that just want to skate off. With this one, though, I feel like I've got excellent control over how deep or how not I go. If I just really want to debark, and I mean, this is super thin, nearly paper thin, or if I want to go really, really deep, and I really, really want to get in there and cut some wood, and I was saying that what I'm going to do is I'm going to let all these pieces dry on the stump so we can use it for fire starting later on when we test out the 90-degree spine with a ferro rod. It has an excellent 90-degree spine there. And then I went ahead to demonstrate some of its chopping ability. I mean, makes quick work. This isn't a huge, very thick branch there, but I mean, it, very nice. And again, that convex grind reduces a lot of friction. It just goes through this kind of stuff. We're gonna try on bigger stuff. This is just, this is the light test. Like I said, light work first, just to see how well it does. So we'll leave this alone for now. I had done all this and had talked a bunch of stuff. Yay. Whether you're gonna craft some things or you're just gonna cut some wood, this is working out really, really well. Very comfortable, no hot spots at all. They did a really good job rounding off all the corners there. Grip is really nice. I don't feel any kind of, the palm swells there fit in my hand really, really nicely. My thumb was engaged right there on that jimping the whole time. I'm really a fan of this knife so far. I had mentioned the removable scales here, so you could get in there and you could use it, survival wise. So I learned a lesson, by the way, off camera real quick. The left side scales, the screws do not move. I didn't know that. I don't know if it's in the instructions, I just didn't read it. They are stuck. Intentionally. They have milling out to make them not move. I actually bent the ring here a little bit, trying to move them. Only the right side screws will move. So, FYI. And this tool is very nice, by the way, when you use it properly and you're doing the right screws. Now these things fit on very securely at first, and they're still rather tight. So inside this is what I'm talking about. These ones are not going to turn, no matter what you do. But they do also, it comes right out. So you've got a standard size for one of these, little survival pockets in there. But, you're going to want to make sure you have this with you. Now you could, if you wanted to, find a smaller way to connect it to your lanyard hole there. You could take this and put it on your lanyard and feed it in through there. Without this big key ring, because obviously you don't want that. Or maybe you do want that dangling there. I don't know. I'm not judging, whatever. But that would be a great way to make sure you have this all the time.